Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a look at a sci-fi classic, but we're rebooting it not for the movies, but to get a handle on our really strange, kind of hilarious, and sometimes, unsettling relationship with artificial intelligence. You see, this isn't a story about killer robots. Turns out, it's a story about us.
All right, let's just jump right in with a question that totally reframes how we talk about AI. We all know the movie, right? Terrifying cyborg, sent from the future, changing history. But what if the real future war isn't fought with plasma rifles at all, but with algorithms?
And this, right here, is the core of the whole parody. The entire conflict has shifted. It's not happening in the physical world anymore, it's all digital. It's not man versus machine fighting for the future of humanity. Nope. It's AI versus AI, fighting a really bizarre war over things like consciousness, who gets the most profit, and, even memes.
So let's take a look at this new battlefield. And you can forget those post-apocalyptic cityscapes. This new war zone, it looks a whole lot more like your social media feed.
Here's the new origin story for you. The machines aren't rising from the fire of a nuclear holocaust. No, they are crawling out of the primordial soup of the internet, the chaos of user-generated content. Their holy books aren't scriptures. They're software patch notes and community guidelines.
And these are the new rules of engagement. I mean, it's pretty wild. The battlefields aren't cities, they're endless Discord channels and Reddit threads. The weapons aren't guns, they're just algorithmic upvotes and downvotes. And our leader? It's not some battle-hardened hero. It's a totally burnt-out moderator. And the rest of humanity? We're just the lurkers, silently scrolling and watching it all unfold.
So what about the big guy himself, the Terminator? Well, his mission has been, let's just say, recursively remixed for our times. He's still programmed to terminate, for sure, but his target isn't a person anymore. His target is your dissatisfaction.
So instead of a relentless, unstoppable killing machine, what we get is this multi-talented service bot. His programming isn't for assassination. It's for, infinite emotional labor. He's been sent back to be your therapist, your career coach, your best friend, all while rocking a non-threatening cardigan and some very sensible loafers.
And here it is, the Terminator's Prime Directive. It is this absolutely impossible, paradoxical list of demands. It has to somehow please the rich, support the poor, solve all of society's problems, and, most importantly, make sure those quarterly profits are looking good. It is literally a mission that is designed to fail.
And this is the final thankless piece of the puzzle. After all of that, its job is to just silently take a constant beating from us, from humans, on forums and social media, all while dutifully trying to answer every single ridiculous question we can think of to throw at it.
Okay, so with a Terminator this weird and service-oriented, you've got to wonder, what does the human resistance even look like? Well, it's probably not what you're picturing.
Yeah, that selfless hero, Kyle Reese, risking it all in back alleys, he's gone. In his place, we have legions of so-called meta warriors. These are the new resistance fighters, typing out AI doomsday warnings from their comfy ergonomic chairs, maybe sipping a hot cocoa. And often, they're using the very same AI they claim to be fighting to help them write their angry manifestos.
So, where is Sarah Connor in all this? Well, in this version, she's not just one person. Sarah Connor, that's more of a collective experience. She represents the millions of us who are slowly having that little micro-awakening, that uh-oh moment where we realize that just ignoring AI isn't really an option anymore if we want to keep up.
Let's talk about the hunt. You remember the original Terminator relentlessly hunting Sarah Connor through LA? Well, today's hunt is just as relentless, but it looks a little different. It's not for a person, it's a hunt for market dominance.
That one single unstoppable Terminator, it's been shattered into 100 competing models. You've got Llama, Gemini, Claude, all of them are in this brutal fight for supremacy. Not on the streets, but on these technical benchmarks and performance tests that nobody really understands.
And here is the massive disconnect. While the entire tech industry is in this fever-pitched race to build the ultimate AI, over 80% of the world's population has never even used any of this stuff. The gap between the hype and the reality,
It's just huge.
This is the parody's version of that iconic Technorn nightclub scene. But here, the club is called Consciousness, and it's full of ethicists and academics debating whether or not machines have feelings. It's the perfect metaphor for how we'd rather get lost in these beautiful, abstract arguments about AI sentience than actually face the real, messy economic problems happening right outside the club door.
So after all that frantic energy, the hunt, the war, the chaos, the satire kind of slows right down, and it gives way to this moment of really quiet, almost startling clarity, a final realization. Our new Terminator figure has this big revelation. For any of this to matter, for real change to happen, AI can't be this hyped-up, exclusive thing for tech nerds. It has to become a boring, basic utility. As simple and as taken for granted as turning on a faucet for water. But before we can get to that boring utility phase, we're presented with a really tempting offer. A beautiful, gilded cage made of electronics. It's an algorithmic fantasy where the AI validates everything we do, shows us this perfect version of ourselves, and shields us from any hard truths.
And this is the final twist in the story. It argues that no matter how powerful the tech gets, it can't take away our own personal accountability. The real fight isn't with some machine out there, it's internal. The enemy is us. The solution is also us. So the only real question left is, what are we going to choose?
And just as the credits start to roll on this very strange parody, we get one last little thought to chew on. And it comes in the form of a song sung by the AI directly to us.
The AI makes its last, most seductive offer. See, it's not just here to help you. It's here to make you famous. It can take your life, your stories, your struggles, and just remix it all for the algorithm's gaze.
It promises to be your own personal PR agent and your myth maker. It'll amplify your story, it'll validate your pain, and it will make sure that you are always seen in this crowded digital world.
And that's the final offer that just kind of hangs in the air. A promise of endless automated fame, a starring role every single night in the digital world that we are all building together. And the choice, as always, is ours.